will be making this attractive little bookmark that is almost entirely made out of chain stitches. You could do this in 5 or 5.5. It doesn't ever hurt to experiment around. Okay, so first we put a slip knot on the hook. You start by crocheting 10 chain stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take the tail of that and go back into the very first stitch that you've got there, that very first chain. Yarn over once and then pull that through the first stitch. Sometimes you can do it in one stitch, but sometimes you yarn over and pull it through the first stitch and then pull it through the second. And that's known as a slip stitch. Now this is a bookmark, so I want the leaf to dangle below the bottom of the book, and I didn't really count. I think it might be 30 chains. I'm not sure. But what I did was I laid the stem over the book with the leaf dangling below, and when it got to the top of the book, I tied it off. I've pulled my last hook out and I'm fastening it off by pulling that tail through the loop and just pulling on it until it makes its own little knot. I'm leaving the tails a little bit extra long. So now I'm going to start the blossom part. Again, I put a slip knot on the hook, and then I'm going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to go back into the first chain again, but I'm opening up the knot a little bit. As you can see, that tail can kind of pull out there, but you can just pull the loop closed. Do a slip stitch into that first chain. And then we're going to chain 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to slip stitch again back into that first stitch that's opening up. I've got to pull the hook through, and then I'm going to pull it through that second loop. I'm going to chain 6 more. Four, 5, 6, and going to go back in and pull up a loop, and pull that loop through, and make another chain of 6. And I'm going back into that first stitch one more time. Pull up a loop and pull that through. And chain another 6. I believe this is 5 petals and 6 stitches. I'm going to go into that first stitch, which has gotten really open, pull up a loop, then pull that loop through. I'm going to make one more little slip stitch, cut that off. Where we've got that really open part in the center of the flower, if I pull on the tail of that original chain stitch, that's going to close right up. And then you could knot those two tails together, which is what I'm doing here. Now I've got two pieces again, and I'm going to thread it onto a tapestry needle with a bent end. First I wrap the yarn over the little end of the needle, then I fold it over a little bit, and then I can put that through the eye of the needle. I'm going to just weave those into the little bits around the center of the flower. I'm going to go under a couple of stitches and just put those ends underneath the stitches, maybe go back and forth a little bit with those. Then I'm going to just snip it off fairly close to that, and I collect the tails of the yarn in a plastic bag so that I can use them to stuff various things. Occasionally, if the end is kind of really short and I screwed up, I will thread the tapestry needle and push the eye back through the yarn. It works. There's a better way to do it with a special needle. I should be able to find the special needle and link it in the description. Leaf end now with the part where it's just a chain, a little bit less to work with. So I'm going in the back of the chain. It looks like there's these little bumps on the back, and I am weaving the needle back and forth through those from side to side. It's not an easy thing necessarily to hide your ends in a chain stitch. The other thing is, if I was using a needle with a sharper point, this part right here would have been easier because the sharpness of the needle would have helped me out there. I would be able to shove it through the actual ply of the yarn a lot more easily. I'm taking the end of the other part and I'm threading it through the needle. Now I've left it long because I knew I was going to use this to attach stem to the flower. Okay, so then I've pulled that up there, pulled the needle off in my enthusiasm. And then I'm just going to kind of whip stitch this to the back of the flower, go through it several times, turn at least one of the stitches into a knot, and then do a whip stitch over the stem, flatten that out, do a knot, and then I'm going to hide the ends again. Put it through one more time. Make sure that it's not coming through, showing through on the other side. through, and I'm going to push the back end through the little loop because I'm running a little short on yarn, and because I have done that my entire life. It's not a best practice, but it works, and I always do it. Like, boy, you find out you have some bad habits when you film these videos. So now I'm just jamming that needle up through the back of the flower because apparently I've had enough of today. That is your flower. If you like that project, I hope you will like the shopping bag that we should be having coming up sometime in the near future. There you go, another one for the books.